again, and welcome back to Carbony Bronze with me, Sean. And I'm joined this week by astoundingly, I don't know how I managed to book him, but we've gotten Napoleon again.
No, we don't. It's me, Chris.
Remember that one time you pretended you were Napoleon?
I never pretended I was Napoleon. I pretended I was Rasputin.
Didn't we do Napoleon as well? Or was I Napoleon?
You were Gustave Eiffel, if I recall correctly.
I did do Eiffel, that's right.
Yes. All that aside, welcome to Carbony Bronze Episode 3, subtitle, And the Plane Hits the Mountain.
If you're wondering about the episode of the Altered Carbon that we watched, the name of that is In a Lonely Place.
Yeah, I was in a fucking lonely place.
Yeah,
Watching this dreck.
It was pretty fucked. Like the other two episodes, I've thought, yeah, fine, change stuff for TV, whatever. This one doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's two things. It's the fact that nothing happens, basically. The majority of the episode is faffing around. Yeah. And also the accumulated weight of all the things that they've changed just kind of drops on the plot all at once, and it all just makes no sense anymore.
Yeah, they changed one of my favourite cool little things out of the book as well.
Oh yeah, what was that?
The weapons dealer.
Oh, I know. Well, the weapons dealing scene was fantastic, but they decided to give him a gun way earlier than he gets a gun in the book, and so he's been running around valencing all over the place. Mm-hmm. Which both undercut his envoy badassery, because he did things without weapons in the book, and also like cut out the quite interesting weapons dealer scene. Yeah. It's just some dumb shit. I got some notes, Sean.
I thought you said you didn't really have any notes. Or is it notes on the overarching episode?
No, I don't have as many notes as I've had on previous occasions.
Look, I will give this episode one good thing that it did.
Go on, then.
And it was at the very start of the episode, and it only lasts for 2 minutes.
Yep.
It's the two kids reading that story.
Oh, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's what two little kids do.
Yeah, I know, but I hated it.
It's better than the rest. It's better than the rest of the episode.
But it's emblematic of everything that's wrong with the show. Like, that story was a fucking Harlan's World folktale.
Yeah.
Well, I forget the name of his town. Port.
Oh, well, yeah.
And also, that little girl is Raylene Kawahara, who's his sister in this version.
Yes, I know.
Which is going to be terrible.
I know about all that. My problem wasn't with... I didn't have a problem with that because all of those things are already problems with the show. I liked that scene because it was just a well-done little scene.
It did contain more spousal abuse than the show set up to this point, so I guess that's a plus.
Yep. Yeah. There was that. I don't know why that would be a plus.
I'm finding my joy where I can, Sean. Follow your bliss.
Oh God.
To the land. Let's just move on past that. I have something I want to say, which is important.
Yeah. Okay.
So the protracted Miriam Bancroft hotel humping scene.
It wasn't that protracted. It was more protracted in the book.
Well, that's true. But its protractedness was justified in the book because at the end of the hotel humping, Miriam Bancroft offers the Vatch a deal.
Yeah.
Which is, give up investigating my husband's murder and you can come to my private fuck island with me and I'll sleeve myself... Yeah, I'll sleeve myself into 3 clones and we can have a big old orgy. Won't that be way more fun?
For as long or as short as you like.
Won't that be much better than this awful investigation you have to do? Like, she's trying to bribe him to drop the investigation. It matters to the plot. Yeah. They completely dropped that.
Yeah. Well, they've
so it's just, she bones him because...
because she's a meth who's super old and bored.
That's way more interesting. Just ass balls. Also, I've found a source of thematic theftery.
Right.
So you see the scene of there's like an aerial shot of the bridge all covered in cargo containers. It's like shanty towns and stuff. Are you serious? No.
No.
Ready Player One is fucking RVs anyway. And not on a bridge. No, it's I'm pretty sure that is an homage or a lift from All Tomorrow's Parties by William Gibson.
Right, I haven't read that one.
Yeah, well, it concerns a shantytown on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So, on top of everything else they've lifted from other things, they're doing that as well then?
I guess. Why don't you... I don't know how to proceed with this. I've already forgotten the plot of the episode, really. All I have to go on are my notes.
We have the spousal abuse flashback.
Yep.
Then we have the Vatch and Poe having their exchange, where Poe says, "Oh,
you're watching the episode and fast forward, aren't you?"
No, I only just finished it about 15 minutes ago.
All right, fair enough. Lead on.
Poe and him have their exchange. Poe says, "Oh, I was hacked." He finds the bot, so he knows that someone was watching them. And I'm pretty sure, like, all-powerful AI could have probably figured out where that signal was going.
Yeah, anyway, radio waves are tricky in the future.
Are they? Are they any more or less tricky than now?
Tricky.
Is it tricky?
Hey, Tricky, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. It's tricky.
I thought I was doing a different musical reference. Like the one where they actually say, it's tricky, 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 tricky.
I don't know that one.
It's cool. It's cool to rock around.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's cool to rock around.
Anyway, so Poe was like, "Yeah, someone watched you boning," and he's like, "Okay, cool." And then he gets an invite to a party.
Oh God!
And it's the social event of the season, some sort of spring cotillion.
He had his chance at the cotillion.
He did. He did have his chance at the cotillion. So apparently, Bancroft's having a big old fuckfest. Where all the other circle jerkers get together up in Circle Jerk Tower, and they're going to circle jerk all over the place. Because Bancroft decides, I'm going to invite everybody who could be a suspect to my house to just chill out. They're going to Netflix and chill in the future.
So putting on my "they changed it from the book and so it sucks" hat. The scene that this crap
scalp.
is replacing a scalp. It's what's under my hat. Taking off my reasonable human being hat, revealing the jerk I was all along. Revealing my pedantry eyebrows, which are my normal eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
The scene that I think this is trying to replace is a part of the book where the Vatch goes to Suntouch House and sees a tennis game in progress between a couple of socialites and talks to a few people and learns a few things, which subsequently all prove to be important to understanding the motives behind Bancroft's murder. Spoilers, he was murdered.
Yes.
By the long route.
Yes. By the long game.
By the long route.
We won't say who murdered him. I don't think.
Oh no, that's an exciting twist. But
when we get
they've dragged that out. That's like a couple of pages. They dragged it out to most of this episode.
Yep.
And managed to not deliver any of the information. I'm thinking they've changed a lot more of the book than I initially assumed. I'll get into more of that later when we get up to it.
Well,
I think they've probably changed the motives for the killing and a lot of the mechanics of how it ended up being pulled off as well.
Oh yeah, it's going to be really, really dumb. I already think I know where it's going.
It will undoubtedly be dumb.
I think I already know where it's going.
Well, you can make some predictions when we're done reviewing this episode. We'll make some predictions. We'll see if you're right.
Oh, okay. So
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
So we see a scene in the police precinct where Ortega and a guy I assume is Bautista from the show, but I don't know if we've actually heard his name yet.
We have, but it's not that.
It's not that.
No.
So it's just some new cop guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, amazing. Talking about how Mary Lou Hinchley fell from somewhere.
Yep.
How do they know that?
Maybe they got a statement from that fisherman and his scarred child.
Then why did the show... No, I don't think they did. The show made a point of showing them putting her back in the water and not doing it.
Did they?
Although the question of how they found her before she decomposed is important, because she was heavily decomposed in the book.
Do you think the writing staff were just so fucking blitzed on coke they forgot they wrote that in?
I think maybe Ortega just has a copy of the script on her little eyeball thingy. And she looks at it sometimes, but she doesn't know what's going on. She's like, I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah, it's right here on page 9.
That's what happened. So that was, I don't know how they have that information. It's kind of baffling. On my notes here, I have fluffy pants, !
Fluffy pants?
Yeah, the weapons dealer has the fluffiest pants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was the highlight of the episode. Fluffy pants.
Also, he sells candy to children the rest of the time?
Yeah, apparently.
It's,
actually, I just realized a joke. He sells candy like he sells guns. Like, he tells each kid a little bit about the candy and what it's got. Like, this has got this has got... He says something about having all the goodness of 5% fruit or something when he's giving a soda to someone. He quotes the specs of his confectionaries. That's a nicely realized little bit of character building.
Is it, though? Are they just like...
look.
We're so clever.
When you're drowning, you'll grab even a shitty boat, Sean.
A boat made of poop.
My poop canoe.
Yes. So, what happens next?
He buys the weapons.
He buys the coolest gun that gets a really great bit in the flashback at the well, not even a flashback. This thing that happens at the start of the book. Because this is supposed to be a copy of that gun that What's-Her-Face had at the start of the book.
What gun is supposed to be a copy of what?
The flechette gun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the one that's filled with spider venom or something.
Well, yeah, that's what it is in the book, but it's not in this.
No, it's not. So
it's a shard gun. It's a thing that fires like hyper. No, they're not metal. They're crystals. They fire hyper accelerated bits of crystal that are imbued with a chemical. It's like soluble stuff. It's like it's like a trank or a. Are you just saying quartz over and over again?
Quartz.
Quartz. It fires shards of some kind of chemical agent that then dissolve in the target and do stuff to them, while also leaving entry wounds of some description, I think. And
horrible
in the book, he specifically buys it as a tribute to his dead friend and chooses to load it up with the same type of ammunition that she had, because that was a character attribute that the Vatch had, attachment to another person. In this, it's not that. It's a thing that shoots slugs that are then retrieved for some fucking reason, as though ammo efficiency is so important in the future that we have to make sure to get all our bullets back.
It's pretty fucking dumb.
Like, the ability to reuse projectiles has not been a feature of weapon design since we got out of the bow era.
I guess you could go and get a ball.
I mean, theoretically you could, but you cast them by the 100. There's no fucking reason to. And they deform in flight anyway, so they often don't work a second time.
That's true.
It's kind of a dumb weapon. And the Tebet knife is coated with beta-thanatine in this, which makes no sense because that doesn't kill people. It also doesn't knock people out, which is what it's depicted as doing in this episode.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually cause you to lose consciousness. That's not the point of the drug. And the Vatch makes no weapon purchasing decisions of his own. He doesn't even choose to get the Nemex. He just already has it.
Yeah, because that's the thing that he had.
It's like... And they once again, they took a Virginia Vidora flashback about the weakness of weapons. And made it a Kelchrist thing. Also, I think they've expanded Kelchrist's role in this. They imply that the envoys are meant to be extraplanetary shock troopers, so I guess her revolution got beyond Harlan's world?
Maybe?
Somehow?
They don't seem to be very consistent with that.
That's kind of interesting.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next bit. So we're past Fluffy Pants gun dealer.
We sure are.
What happens next?
It's the Poe-administered psychosurgery scene.
That was okay, I guess. Made as much sense as anything else, really.
I actually quite liked the way they depicted psychosurgery here, where it's about assembling a space and tidying things and making small adjustments
Making it as comfortable for their mind as they physically or digitally can.
Yeah, I mean, in the book, you'd run it in a full virtual instead of, for some reason, the trapped, repeated recordings of her last moments, which is what she always appears in this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought he was just doing it inside that TV.
yes. The inside of that TV looks like a rainy street with a partially obscured sign for a brothel in the background.
Well, I mean, TV could just be a thing that he's using. It just looks like a TV. It's actually some sort of special sort of view screen for the non-digital people. Look, my idea isn't any less dumb than the thing they did.
Right, so you're saying that it is being run in a proper construct, but the TV just adds the shitty streetscape behind it.
Yes.
That TV is broken to a degree that I don't think any appliance has ever been broken. It's like, can I have some toast? No, the toast is broken. Really? Broken how? Well, you put in toast.
And
a rain-swept streetscape comes out.
Yeah.
Uh.
So, oh yeah, while he had, I don't know whether or not we actually mentioned, he has a flashback to being taught how to gun from Kelchrist.
Yeah, that was the weakness of weapons bit. Although
Yes.
I have an addendum to all the gun stuff.
Okay.
I really, really want to see someone shoot that Sunjet.
Oh yeah.
Because the Sunjet is a weapon type that shows up a lot in the books. It's
Also-
it's the generic. Yeah, they appear in the sequels as well.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna see it get fired a fuckload the next episodes. That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
I think the Sunjet is the brand name generic term for a projected energy weapon. So it fires plasma or something in this glorious flaming burst of Armageddon.
Some kind of weird future laser.
Yeah, and it has settings shown. You can have it on wide dispersal to lightly toast a room, on really sort of tight beam thing to burn shit from a long way away. Sunjets are cool. I want to see lots of people get shot with them. That's all I'm holding out for in this show. I just want to see lots of Sunjets go off.
Oh god.
All right, then we stumble drunkenly into the party.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, he hires Vernon, Lizzie's dad, the guy who he beat up and stole the milk from in the last episode.
Vernon Elliott.
Yes, he hires him to watch his back for this party.
Yeah.
Because, and I actually had that thought just now, because Vernon is Q, and the Vatch is shitty James Bond in this episode.
I think if anything, Fluffy Pants would be Q.
Yeah, but...
Vernon could be Moneypenny.
Okay, I guess. But Vernon was also the one who was talking about guns.
That's true, I suppose.
Can they both be Q?
You have to make the guns to be Q, Sean.
Well, Fluffy Pants didn't make the guns, he's just shipping them.
Well, I guess no one's Q.
Okay, they're all Moneypenny. Except for the Vatch, who is shitty James Bond.
James Bond will return in We're All Moneypenny.
Next time, on a very special We're All Moneypenny.
I really want to watch We're All Moneypenny. I think it would be less painful than Altered Carbon.
Yeah. So we go to the party. Vatch is cute with that stupid drug bag that he got in the first episode.
Yes, the bag containing all the drugs.
All of them. All of the space future drugs. He shows up. He's still looking pretty rough from all the fights he's been in. But I guess he's just rocking it. Vernon, who... I'm trying to decide whether or not they made this a race thing. Because he's a black guy, he's now a servant. What?
Stop veering us into Harmon holes, goddammit.
What?
Who wants to talk about race?
I wasn't talking. I'm just noting it. Just noting it.
I don't know. I think they put him in a plausible staff position at this party. I don't think Bancroft hires that many waiters in his house normally.
I still always... my mind boggles at the fact that people are still using this trope. We need to get people in the party, so one of them's going to be a server.
Well, it's easier to get hired by a catering firm than it is to get hired by... than it is to get an invitation for an exclusive party. I don't know.
That's very true, Chris. But have you ever worked for someone who did catering? Because I have, and I can tell you right now, they don't send you out on a job the day you get the job.
Maybe if you bribe them enough, they do.
They didn't talk about that.
I mean, I don't know. The mechanics of how Elliot got a waiting job are not discussed, and I guess you're meant to just kind of assume that they figured it out. But you know what? We're not giving it. This show doesn't deserve any credit. So yeah, you're right. It is dumb that he just swanned in there and started serving drinks.
Like, is he just wearing a tuxedo and walked in with a plate? And he's like, I'll just do the thing. But that's not the dumbest thing about this party.
Oh no, there's lots of dumber shit in this party.
But the dumbest thing about this party for me was the zero gravity knife fighting.
Okay, the zero gravity knight fighting was unimaginably dumb, but hold it, Sean. I got a few things I want to hit first.
Okay, all right. Ortega's at the party as well. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so this is important. Ortega is at the party, and she talks to the Vatch.
Yep.
And he mentions that he got laid last night.
Yep.
And she has no reaction whatsoever,
aside from walking away disgusted. Not disgusted in a sense like, oh my god, you're wearing my boyfriend's sleeve and you banged some other
and you got it all sticky.
Yeah, not disgusted like that. It's just disgusted as in, God, men are pigs, and then walked off.
Right. So from that interaction, I'm forced to conclude that the Vatch is either not Riker in this version, or they've just completely fucked up Ortega's character and given her no direction.
I'm going to say both.
Well, yeah, both are possible.
I think it's
really weird because, like, this is meant to be. This moment does occur in the book, but much later.
Yep, after they've boned, haven't they?
No, immediately before they bone.
Oh, okay.
It leads to them boning. Boning begets boning. It's the logic of altered carbon. Don't question it. And the emotional reaction is pretty strong, actually.
Yeah, she beats him up, doesn't she?
Oh yes.
She punches
stabs him right in the eye.
Yeah, she just I don't know about that bit, but she punches him like she clocks him.
An altercation that dissolves into boning occurs.
Yeah.
And there's just none of that here. So that's
also, shit. Before I forget, I actually wrote something down about the party that I needed to remember.
All right, go on.
Do they actually eat a cheetah?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, cool. They eat a cheetah, folks.
They eat a great cat.
Yeah. I don't know how... First off, I don't know how they've still got cheetahs in the future.
Yeah, they have cloning technology. They can probably just whip one up.
Did they have cloning when cheetahs became extinct? Because I'm assuming, because we're asshole humans, we probably extinct the cheetahs.
I'm sure some genetic samples would be extant somewhere.
Oh, I guess they've probably got bones and shit in some.
I mean, I guarantee you there is a pickled cheetah fetus in a jar somewhere.
Yeah, and then they'll
right
have,
now.
And then they'll have like stuffed ones somewhere. They could just probably take the hair off that, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure how well follicular DNA does in taxidermy. But yeah, they eat a cheetah just to demonstrate that they're evil and rich or
they're rich. All rich people are evil because they eat an endangered animal, an even more endangered animal.
Yep. So the whole
extinct.
What was I going to say? Yes, so the Bancrofts are there at the party and they like actually talk to each other, which I don't think they ever really do in the book.
Like they barely look at each other in the book.
Yeah, it's a very deliberately constructed and strange marriage that they have because they've been married for 200 years and or however fucking long, and they don't really actually need to talk to each other anymore, so they don't. Quite odd to see them being all chummy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's a scene where it turns out that Miriam Bancroft's daughter is running around in her body banging dudes at the party behind
security guys.
Behind a very poorly concealed secret passage.
Oh yeah, because I know the Vatch is supposed to be like some sort of super detective, but from space. But that I mean, if you had shit tons of money like these guys do, you think you could have built a more evenly distributed secret passage door that didn't fucking ruin your floor when you opened it?
Like, I mean, did Agatha Christie write this episode?
No, because it would have been enjoyable.
Oh, okay. Did Agatha Christie get a concussion and then write this episode? Because
no, she's dead.
Elegant dinner parties, secret, passages with telltale things.
Sorted bullshit.
Just, it was very, It was very... They told us when we accepted this project that it was a mystery story, and we didn't bother to incorporate any of the mystery elements of the source material. So what do mystery stories have?
Secret passages and people boning.
And parties and cheaters.
Yep.
So let's do one of each of those. Just fucking outstanding.
Also, when he's walking around interviewing people in his envoy thing where he pretends to be a myth, he doesn't sell that for me at all.
Yeah, it was difficult because it was like short. Every conversation is super short, and none of those people are really characterized properly, and there wasn't very much for the character to work with. But yeah, I think that's a fair criticism.
Oh, also, I wrote down another note about the question.
Holy shit, Sean! You've taken 2 notes this week.
Yeah, I think I only wrote 5 altogether.
Yeah.
What was up with the man that wasn't there?
What was up with the man that wasn't there?
You don't remember that? Where Ortega's like, hey, partner who is totally relevant to the plot. You're looking through my eyeball like everybody else does. There's a guy over there. I see a guy. He's not on the guest list. What's his dealio? And partner is like, what guy? There's no guy there. And the camera goes back and there's no guy there.
He's spooky. I think he probably just left.
Oh wait, no, I've just figured out. He's the guy who's watching Miriam and the Vatch the night before.
Yeah, I know who he is, but that doesn't explain his ability to avoid cameras.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, well, it's just because suspense, Sean, suspense. It's just fucking red herrings, red herrings for days. So the Vatch has a really.
Too?
Yeah, they clone them. They especially clone them and they pickle them, and then they scatter them around to confuse the foxhounds.
They're the size of whales.
And they are the size of whale. What, the foxhounds or the herrings?
Yes.
Stop derailing my herring.
Sorry.
The Vatch has a really stupid conversation with Bancroft. Where, don't bang my wife. Where, I enjoy choke murdering women. Like, it's kind of important to the story that he doesn't yet enjoy recreationally choke murdering women. But, yeah,
we're not supposed to know that yet.
We're not supposed to know that yet. And,
we're supposed to know that he enjoys roughing them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But no choke murder.
It's just we got to really establish that he's the worst.
Yeah, apparently
he's our antagonist now.
They want to get that in. They want to get that in 7 episodes before we're supposed to find out.
All right, so this leads us to the absolute stupidest moment of the fucking episode.
Is it the Japanese bit or is it the snake bit?
Neither.
Oh, okay. Because I thought the snake.
It is the bit when the Vatch is talking to someone and someone says, "God is dead. We are gods." Blah 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 blah. Something about how great it is to be a myth and how great it is to live forever.
That's Bancroft.
Okay, sure. And the Vatch says, "Death isn't up to us to give or withhold."
Yeah.
Like, these are the words that came from the mouth of a professional murderer who is never going to die.
No.
It's just completely and utterly baffling, at odds with not only his book character, but also his established show character. It's just complete fucking nonsense.
Well, this is why I'm pretty sure that they were all just blitzed on coke when they wrote this episode.
They would have to have been. It's probably a direct quote from book 3 or something, and I'm displaying my poor memory by not getting it. But
well, it's not in book 1.
I can't imagine that would be something that Takeshi Kovacs would ever fucking say. So that's terrible. All right, so there's a bit where a chick gets up and says, "Hey, there's a rapist in this snake. What a lovely snake!" and everyone claps. And then and then she comes over and has a conversation with the Vatch and Prescott, in which we learn that although she introduces herself as Clarissa, she is definitely Kawahara in a Caucasian sleeve, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's Raylene Kawahara. Mark my fucking words.
Gotta be.
So, we'll find that out in 4 episodes, and it will meant to have been a twist. Also, this episode suddenly has an internal monologue, unlike the rest of the show up to this point.
Oh, yeah.
Which means they're able to slide in some of the more interior stuff from the books, and I don't know why they didn't just always do it, because it works reasonably effectively. I quite like the interior monologue.
Yeah, it would have been great if they'd gone full whole hog with the noir theme and had like some sexy sax playing while he was talking.
I imagine, yes, Cybersax would be the the instrument of choice.
That's the name of the episode.
Cybersax.
Cybersax.
All right, zero-G shoving match. Tell us about the zero-G shoving match, Sean.
So the two combatants are married. There's that.
Yep.
So why are they getting people who are married to fight? Is it supposed to be like, oh, it's a cunning play on how Bancroft and Miriam actually want to kill each other?
I think the married combatants might actually be from the book, but it doesn't take place at Suntouch House.
It's not on the first one. It might be in one of the others.
There's a bunch of different fighters at the Thingamy Rose. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, but
the big fighting ring that's in a boat.
Well, I don't remember any of them being married because I would have thought that would have been an interesting thing. But in this, it's not. In this, it's not. Anyway, it's clear. Like Bancroft is just like, yeah, I got these guys because I really want to kill my wife, but I'm not going to.
It's subtle.
It's so dumb.
Yes. Okay, so that's the setup, and the terms of the fight are whoever wins gets a better combat sleeve, and whoever loses gets a worse one.
Yeah.
And then they fight in zero-G for some reason. How compelling would you describe the zero-G combat as being?
It's like they could have left the wires in, and I would have liked it more.
Truly. I mean, did you come to this show to see people get shoved in a wind tunnel?
No, because if they'd left the wires in for the obvious dancers who are fighters in this, because they can just move their bodies like that, and it's probably cheaper to get dancers than people who are actually trained fighters. Like for people who are supposed to be fighting in a zero-G tunnel, if they'd had the wires on, I would have been like, oh, that's a bit naff. I don't actually mind that. Look at him being silly. Oh, look at him. That's charming. Instead, they have this really fucking dumb thing with a shitty. It has a really shitty score as well. Like it can't decide if it's supposed to be one thing or another with the music. Like, is it supposed to be like music straight out of a martial arts film, or is it music from like Sting's latest album?
I have no idea. All I know is that it was dull and shovey and like not at all an engaging fight. And then the Vatch wades in and kills one of them for reasons that make sense in context. And Ortega shoots a button. It's important. It's important that she shoots a button.
A glass button.
A glass button. Anyway, that's all just terrible and completely pointless. It's like their obsession with having a big action scene of some kind to end every episode has now led them to just make them up and have them be bad.
It was also supposed to demonstrate how much the meths are obsessed with like blood sports because they've got nothing else in their lives. Because there's a bit where blood splashes all over. Like, because they're all wearing white, by the way. All the meths are wearing white or beige or gold. So a couple of women get splashed with blood from one of their faces, and they're all laughing and cheering. And the one of them that's in the center of that shot, like, licks blood off herself.
Oh yeah, she's having a great time.
Yeah, just the best time. Also, zero-G blood looks so dumb.
Yeah, it's just terrible. All right, so that ends. We're almost done, folks.
It's so close now.
The Vatch staggers back to jack it off to meet up with an enemy. Who is his... What?
Oh, her name's Alice.
Remember? Yeah, I couldn't remember her real name. I just remembered her whore name.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, see? You made me explain it, you terrible person.
I'm not lowering the tone. It's not me anymore.
It's definitely you, Alice. She's back to see Alice, and some people kill her and capture him and take him away. And one of those people is Michael Eklund, who you may remember from...
Dirk Gently?
Yes, he's in Dirk Gently, and he's also in Mr. Right. And he's great in both of those. So that was a pleasant surprise, having a sudden appearance of Michael Eklund. Notably absent is Trep, however.
Which one's Trep again?
Trep is the female mercenary who he murders for real and then meets her backup later and becomes kind of friends with her.
And they team up as well.
Yeah, they team up later on. So she's just not in this version. We get Michael Eklund instead. So, running it down, our major antagonists are Dimitri Cadman, who is an idiot, Lawrence Bancroft, who is cartoonishly evil, and Michael Eklund, who's just there for reasons, I guess.
Not only is he cartoonishly evil, by the way, but we've also seen his dong.
Oh, we've definitely seen his dong.
Yeah.
So,
Because that guy can't not show his dong.
it's just in his rider. Mr. Purefoy will display his genitals. It will be in the final cut.
Whether you want him to or not, you might as well put it on film.
All right, let's wrap this up. You wanted to make a prediction, Sean.
Yes. Fuck, what was it going to be?
Only you can answer that.
Oh, Raylene. It's going to be about Raylene. You know how she's his sister this time round?
Yes.
Yeah. I bet, because she's... I'm trying to think of a way to word this without it giving away the ending of the actual book. But I bet she, while wearing someone else's sleeve, is going to offer to sleep with Kovac.
That is the worst, and I hope that does not happen.
It's going to happen, Chris.
And,
you know why it's going to happen? Because they play it loosey-goosey with sexual orientation in the future. And
cool.
Familial ties mean nothing anymore.
Altered Carbon, Incest Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my prediction is that it will just get worse and worse and more incoherent, and I'll want to die.
Well, that's already what's happening, isn't it?
Indeed it is. And tragically, that's all the time we have. Actually, can you log into the Comedy Bronze email account?
Maybe?
Because I think Trav sent us an email.
Oh, okay.
I thought we might read for old time's sake.
All right,
unless it's ribald, in which case, no. This is a classy operation.
What was it just Comedy Bronze?
It's thirdplacejoke@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. There it is. It is saved. That's the wrong password.
Okay. No, well, we'll be doing no email this week.
I could do a forgot password thing. Hang on, give me a minute.
Then the link will get sent to me because I registered the account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm ahead of you, Sean. I'm 3 moves ahead, and I told you what we'd be doing. Oh. And you say goodbye to the lovely people.
Goodbye, lovely people.
Sound happier about it.
Goodbye, lovely people.
Okay, 2% less happy.
Goodbye, lovely people.
That's it.